and welcome everyone. Thanks for joining me. I would like to discuss the efforts of the great American patriot Scott Presler. Yes, he is an American patriot. He is a hero. This young man is out there knocking doors, trying to ballot harvest where it's legal. His efforts are extraordinary, and he is the definition of leading by example. And again, I know you're tired of hearing it by now. Fred, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. But I have to keep reminding you, I'm here to motivate and remind you that we are all force multipliers. I mean, the memes are great. The YouTube, hey, look. Do you just want to be some weirdo in a dime store mask and a $2 wig just ranting at a cheap web camera? Is that what? Wow. Fred, definitely edit that. Ha! The point being, we all can do our part. But it's going to take, if we want to get President Trump elected, we are all going to have to do a little extra. The memeing is not going to get it done. We're going to have to get out there and follow the example of the great patriot Scott Presler. Now, if you can't go out and knock on doors and do some of the things he's doing, I'm going to put up the web address, the link to his organization. He even says in this video, hey, contact me. Please contact me. There's different jobs for everyone. So if you can just phone bank, send email, whatever you can do. But with that being said, I am going to roll this clip. Let's see if we can get this right. The old split screen. Let's do a little transition, behind the scenes magic. Ooh, look at that. Fred. Thank you, Fred. All right, folks. I give you the great Jesse Kelly. And the one thing among many that this gentleman says is, again, it ain't sexy, blocking and tackling and all the sweat and all the effort you put in before game day. But that's what gets you across the finish line with the big old blue ribbon and the shiny trophy. And all the sexy ladies. This is a family show, Fred. Man, I've got to reel this in. All right, folks, please, Jesse Kelly, go.
As a people overall, we get the government we deserve. We had an election yesterday in Jacksonville, Florida. We had a Republican mayor in Jacksonville, Florida. Did you know that? It's in Duval County, a county Ron DeSantis won. Did you know we lost that election? Now, it's a D+4 county. I don't want to act like it's blood red, but we lost that election yesterday. If you look at the turnout, it's pitiful. And I know it's not a sexy election, right? It's not for senator. It's not Trump or DeSantis. We don't see them on Fox News. Nobody's name is in lights. Why don't we care enough to show up on critical local elections?
Fred, it's called apathy. Look it up. Jesse, go.
You know what determined your quality of life during COVID when this country lost its mind? It wasn't the federal government. It was the state you lived in. I live in Texas. My kids lived a radically different life for 2 years than the people in New York lived. I went and visited New York several times for work. It was like I went to a different planet. Local is what we need. And we can't bring ourselves to care enough to show up. We don't show up for primaries. When we do show up for primaries, we vote for the same loser rhino that's in there. We don't show up for local elections to try to get someone out for a city council or school board race. They scoff and blow it off. And sorry, I'm watching the game. I don't want to hear about your MAGA bumper sticker or your Ron DeSantis t-shirt if you don't care enough to show up for local elections.
And folks, I'm going to be honest. I've been guilty of this myself. So all I can do is be honest with you. And hey, I know how it is. Hey, this was long before I met Mrs. Davis, the love of my life. Honey, if you can hear me, you know I love you. So earmuffs. But yeah, you get busy. Met those hot Asian cheerleaders at the bar. You might be a little, let's say, tired out from the night before. So She can't get up and make it to the polls, definitely during the primaries. Not satisfactory. Can't do that. We've got to get involved. And what he's about to say is at the local level. That's where the change really occurs, and we're going to take it back precinct by precinct, community by community, because the answers, and this is very obvious to see, are not in Washington, D.C. They are not in the evil imperial capital. Hey, look, as the great Ronald Wilson Reagan would say, what are the most feared words in the English language? I'm from the government, and I'm here to help. Now, I believe that applies all through government, from the federal, state, down to your local government. But again, we can apply a lot more direct pressure locally and keep these yahoos in line than we can right now until we build our numbers and then have a full assault via the ballot on the evil imperial capital. Now, Jesse, take us away. Go.
Blocking and tackling is how we will take back this nation. We will not take back this nation from Washington, D.C. We will start local, take back our communities, and expand from there. That's how we will save this country. All right? Joining me now, somebody trying to actually save the country, someone who understands that blocking and tackling, not the sexy things, are what actually wins election, is my buddy, conservative activist and national spokesman for the Early Vote Action PAC, Scott Presler, once again joining us. Scott, okay, Jacksonville. Jacksonville's not a Republican place. It's D+4, if I remember right. It's D+4, but still, we just lost Jacksonville yesterday, and our turnout was pathetic. I know it's not sexy, it's not Trump, and it's not DeSantis, and it's not a presidential election, but it's one of the last major cities where we had any power at all, and we just filtered it away and didn't even show up to vote. Why are we like this?
Well, it's a variety of things. I actually think voter registration is very sexy, Jesse. But look, we had a county, Jacksonville. I'm actually from Duval County. I was born in Neptune Beach. And it's sad to see that despite Republicans actually getting more registered voters by party to vote in the election, ultimately, we lost independent voters. And we had more independents vote for the opponent than we were able to get Republicans to vote for our candidate. And in part, it was a very bitter primary, and we had a lot of money that was spent against our ultimate nominee. And so it just shows you, y'all, it doesn't matter if it's Florida or South Dakota or Tennessee. We have to fight for every single election. And apathy is going to be our major hurdle going into the 2024 election. We have to.
Thank you. Scott Presler is dead on. He is correct. Again, motivate. We all have to be force multipliers. We're all going to have our bad days, get down, be sick, but we must stay focused. We must stay focused. Scott, go.
To treat every election as serious.
Scott, why do we have this apathy? You're on the ground all the time. You're registering voters by the dozen. You can't look. Every Republican complains. Everyone. I'm around normal Republicans, not activists, and all they do is complain when I'm around them. Biden sucks. The border's open. Crime sucks. This sucks. That sucks. And then I tell them, hey, we got a city council election. No response. No one shows up. How do we not make that connection?
Unfortunately, it is human nature. One will take the path of least resistance. Again, Fred, I want to clarify something about my young Asian cheerleader comments. Please add emphasis on, I met them at the bar, or not me, but a very good close friend of mine. You know, that was not me. This scenario I was laying out was a very close friend of mine. But seriously, it's apathy. It's human nature. So, you know, most people, if you're not forced to do it, you're not going to do it. Let's just be honest about it. Again, that's what I'm trying to do here, and so many others, trying to motivate you. And again, force multiplication. Scott, go!
Jesse, I don't know how to answer that. I am working my tail off as a volunteer. I'm not even getting paid through my organization right now that I created. I want to
Oh,
make that very
gosh.
clear.
Great American. People throw that around, but this Scott Presler, he is a true patriot. I don't care what left, right, whatever you identify as. This guy's an American patriot. He's out there working his tail off, trying to get people engaged in the election process. Oh my geez. Scott, go.
As a volunteer. And when people say to me, Scott, the election is rigged, or why should I do something? It's hard for me. I have to bite my tongue, but I respond back to them and say, many hands make light work, or I encourage others to take action. The only way that I know how to lead is lead by example. And so, what people can expect from Scott Presler, from me moving forward, is I'm going to keep my head down. I'm going to register as many voters as I can as Republicans. I'm going to focus on early voting and an all of the above approach to voting. And I'm going to focus on legal and lawful ballot harvesting. In the state of Oregon, I've been working with pastors to set up unofficial drop boxes, which is legal in the state of Oregon, and it's already produced results. We had members of the congregation of the parish turn in ballots to the unofficial drop box.
There you go. Some of you can work through your church. Get involved through your church. Scott, go.
And then the pastor then took those ballots to the local elections office before the election on Tuesday, May 16th. So part of this is just informing the public of what we're able to do and encouraging and motivating them to do it. But y'all, if you were serious about making Joe Biden a one-term president, if you were serious about saving our country, my direct messages are open. Send me a message at Scott Presler on Twitter. I would love to work with you to make sure that Joe Biden is a one-term president.
And again, I will put the links to Mr. Presler in the description of this video. Reach out, talk to him, get involved, encourage others to get involved. Jesse, Scott, go.
Gosh, I love that. Blocking and tackling. I love that. Tell me about Pennsylvania, Scott. I know you're spending a lot of time in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is critical if you want to win back the presidency, and we've clearly taken a beating there by the fact they have a head of Broccoli as their senator now. Are we making headway there?
We're making progress. In 2012 with President Obama, in November of 2012, the Democrats had an advantage of 1.1 million more Democrats registered than Republicans. Now, today in 2023, the Democrats only have an advantage of, we'll say, 467,000 more Ds than ours. So we've made a lot of progress at bringing down that Democratic advantage. Now, I'm currently at the Republican Committee of Allegheny County headquarters right at 100 Fleet Street in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Y'all, we need your help here in Southwest PA. During this trip, I'm doing 4 events in 4 days. I'm doing Allegheny, Westmoreland, Armstrong, and Beaver. And to give you an example, Beaver County, which is a Trump county that at the same time that it voted for Dr. Oz, voted for Democratic Governor Shapiro, is a county that's only 1,000 voter registrations away from flipping from Democrat to Republican. And it's my contention that with a little bit of sweat equity, a little bit of elbow grease, I believe in the next 5 years, we could make Southwest Pennsylvania a ruby red Republican. And so,
Amen. Amen. Just a note here, because I had to jot this down myself. We're just not talking about Pennsylvania. Everyone needs to be focused on Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, Nevada, and Arizona. Again, these are going to be the big states. I mean, these are the definition of battleground. So Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Georgia, North Carolina, Nevada, and Arizona. If you're in one of those states or near one of those states, and just, Lord, if you can, if it's humanly possible, drive. If you're within, a short distance or a medium distance, whatever distance. If you can, go and help. Put your boots on the ground. If not, for the gazillionth time and for the love of Neptune's trident. Is that inclusive enough? I just want to make sure we got everybody covered, Fred. Okay. Thank you. But seriously, get involved for the thing, for the love of all things holy. Scott, go.
So to anybody in this area, please join Sam DeMarco, the chairman, join the Republican Committee of Allegheny County, and I need your help to bring down those voter registration numbers to make sure Pennsylvania helps elect a Republican president in 2024.
Lee, that is great news. Okay, the chasing down ballots, Scott, you've been all over this, and I love that. The GOP is, well, pathetic like they always are at actually trying to handle this problem, but you're working on it. Are we making headway there? Are we going to have a ballot track down operation that's even decent heading into the 2024 election?
Well, it's a little difficult to answer because I feel like right now, much of that work is resting on my shoulders.
Okay, Fred, I think my head's going to explode. This part drives me nuts. Are you kidding me? If you're at home, strap in. This is very, very frustrating. Mr. Presler, go.
And I can only do so much as
gosh.
one. So I would love some help. And again, you can go to earlyvoteaction.com. But look, I am working with county parties, like I just said. Chairman Sam DeMarco, this is the second largest county outside of Philly in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I've offered my help, and he's listening to the grassroots. So there are chairmen and chairwomen that are working together. But it's going to take a lot of education. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner, but what I mean is when I went to Northwest Wisconsin, where they had 2 feet of snow on the ground going into Election Day, they told me, Scott, no one has offered this compelling message talking about early voting, mail-in voting, and the value of an all-of-the-above approach to voting. And so if we're going to be successful, a lot of it is talking to our voters. For example, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, you're voting by mail, but you can go to your county elections office early and do in person a vote by mail. So if you don't trust drop boxes or if you don't trust the United States Postal Service, but you want to vote early, there are ways and avenues that we can do so. And then y'all, you won't get a knock at your door. You won't get another text message. You won't get another email. You're going to be taken off the list so we can focus on low propensity voters and focus on the people that we need in order to win elections.
There you go, folks. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Presler. Again, I will be posting all of his links. Let's see here. I'm going to, there you go. Sorry, folks. I think you can see that. If not, I will be posting this direct link. Let's see if we can get that blown up a little bit. And we can't. Fred, fix that. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That was kind of rude. Fred, I wasn't trying to be rude. Just get a little frustrated. Anyway, there you go. earlyvoteaction.com. We will put the links to this video and Mr. Presler's organization in the description of this video. And folks, again, we got to fight. We all talk a good game. Hey, I got friends that are Civil War reenactors and Revolutionary War reenactors. There's no need to reenact anything. We are in the fight. It's right now. We are in it. This will go down in the history books. Possibly the very last gasp of the American Republic. We can't let her die. The only way to save her is to fight with everything we have at the ballot box. At the ballot box. Folks, again, thanks for joining me. And please remember, love the Lord with all your heart, and love one another. Until next time, go!